to make my oh hello. Here we go.
Listen, we fucked up.
Right. We won, though, guys. We won. I know we won. That's one of those. We didn't lose. We
This
won.
was a win we were supposed to dominate. We weren't supposed to fucking scrape it. Fuck. Honestly. Oh. I mean, I don't know anymore. Like, this team's one and done. This team's going to go in the playoffs and they're going to walk the fuck back out. Mark my words. Like,
I mean, if that
me
just
and you've been saying so many times, this is going to be the game. We know they're not going to be great, but this has got to be the game that they target to be great, because this was the ultimate game. You're going against a quarterback that's not playing in the league. They'll be up. Their confidence is down.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad Buck Skull Gang in the house changed his thing from "Go Bucks, great win" to "sloppy win." A win is a win. That, yeah. Thank you. That wasn't no damn great win. That was a great ass like. But first of all, before we even do that, what's up, Bucks people out here? We are Bucks Report, the aftermath. We are here to try to bring logic and stability here. Yes, we have water. I have water as well. We're hydrating, so now we can cleanse ourselves of it. It almost became a scary Christmas, but they pulled through and gave us a Merry Christmas. So hello everybody, it's AJ Turnup, and then we have my main man Slick right here doing the thing. So yes, we give me your assessment. I understand you're a man you've written this down. This is how bad this is, guys. We have to write it down. This isn't a rapid reaction. Now we have been able to
digest it.
Yes, digest it.
I digested it, and unfortunately I fell asleep. So I'd like to point out to Bucs Nation right now that before the second quarter had finished, I was out for a light. I got on I wake up, check my phone, and I go, Slick checked out in our chat, right? And I'm like, fuck, I actually fell asleep. I look up, my son's laid out across my legs, and I'm like, they're flipping the coin for fucking overtime. I was like, we're at 16-16? It was 3-3 when I looked.
It was sad. It was sad, honestly.
I watched the game since. I don't think I missed a lot.
You didn't miss a lot. I will say, I had a hot take. The defense actually, Bowles is holding his team back, and I say this because there's an old coach that we had here. His name is Gruden. He said when he got to Tampa in 2002, he said, "I've heard so much about this defense being good. Let's be great. Let's see if you can get 9 turnovers." And what did that Bucs defense do that season? They produced 9 turnovers because they elevated. The Bucs defense at this point. Bowles is not elevating. He is playing. The bend don't break is not a good model with us. It should be boom or bust. That's why it's no risk it, no biscuit. The Bucs need to. The reason why the Bucs kept that team around so long, the defense wasn't doing a bad job, but Slick, you've called it. On second downs and third downs, for whatever reason, the cushion coverage is so out there, you're allowing the receivers to literally trick the corners into running a certain route. And we got to be real. We don't have the pass rush. We were actually lucky because now we already know Shaq is gone. Vita Vea was not in there.
So I want to give a shout out to the defense because Vita Vea to lose Shaq Barrett, that's big, like really big to lose 2 guys, and then obviously we lost other guys too.
Mm-hmm.
But they continue to do what they do, right? And there's you can look at there's only like the reason I don't want to get critical on this defense too hard on this defense is I remember this Mike Smith days. Yes. We couldn't stop nothing. Like it didn't matter what they did. They could have pulled their dicks out, took a piss, and we still would have given up 10 yards. We're now at a point where this team can hold teams. We're in it. It's the offense that can't take advantage of it. is Coach Bowles holding them back potentially? And it's not it's a hot take until nobody agree. It's always a hot take when no one agrees with you. But the more people that agree with you, it doesn't become a hot take anymore. And I don't think you're entirely wrong. I just think there's a bit more to it than that. My biggest problem with Coach Bowles is I'm trying to work out what he's trying to achieve as a head coach, because he has said in the past that when he was with the Jets that he worried too much about the offense and they didn't produce. So now he's obviously got this mindset of like, I'm going to leave the offense to Tom Brady and Byron Leftwich, who I've worked with already. We've won the Super Bowl together. Like, yada. So he's leaving it. And we're now at a point where Bucs fans, and we're looking at the play calls, the play designs, the execution of those plays is poor as well. There's nothing there. Maybe it's time for him to do something. Whether he fires somebody, whether he changes, he needs to change something up, because if he wants to keep his job, someone needs to get fired. And this is the problem I have with BA still being part of the organization, is he's not free to do anything, because he'll be like, well, that's my dude. I bought you. If it weren't for me, BA could turn around and go, if it weren't for you, you would not have this opportunity. So you've got to give Byron his. And he's going to be like, yes, boss. Because we all know that. Do you think he's going to disrespect the guy who got him the position that he's in?
Probably no, and they've had years of, they're a family essentially. But this is where the Glazers, you have to put your foot down and make this about this. We are in the business of winning. We have the team and talent to do so. Honestly, with all due respect, I would, if I'm the Glazers right now, it's either Arians. If you're not going to get down here and help,
right, let's retire him and give Coach Bowles his what he's going. Look, I know everyone's talking about wasted opportunity. It's not a wasted opportunity anymore. It's done. Like, this season is not like, if we win the Super Bowl, it's going to be a fucking miracle.
Yes, it would.
Let's be brutally honest. We haven't beat up on anybody. We've never piled yards and touchdowns on anybody yet. So we haven't had a defining moment game. Our best game is probably Dallas and the Seattle Seahawks.
And
the best
Dallas, I'll say Dallas Seahawks and Saints.
The reason first game or second?
The first Saints. The reason why is because normally they would have fallen apart typically, but we thought that Saints game was the spark. We all were like, oh shit, this team is gonna go on a run.
You've got that monkey off your back.
Yep.
And then the second time they've been on, you fucking swept them. First time they've been swept since 2007.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, now let's go. And what happens? Nothing. We just return. And the one thing I like from an offensive standpoint, this is what I want to talk about. We saw good things in that Bengals game in that first half. Did we not? Is that a fair assessment that we saw?
That's a very fair assessment. We saw the potential. We saw a competent.
How much did you see that in the second game? In this game,
we ain't see shit. We ain't see shit. Well, you know what defined Byron his entire time? The drive where they couldn't even get an inch because they ran. You know why they ran, and you know why they got stopped. Did you hear that Fournette has got some injured foot that's really bad, where he has, like, I think some broken bones? That's why when he tries to run the ball, he comes off really slow. So basically, to make a long story short, I've
read this,
the issue that I had with Byron, when you ran 3 straight times, you were predictable. Yet again, the play action was just dying to be used. If you look at it, they do a play action. I guarantee you, it's damn near it's going to be.
Someone's going to bite in 3 fucking goes.
Yes, somebody's biting. If you look at it, they literally, the middle of the field would have been wide open. What does he do? He runs the ball again. You know, Fournette has an injured foot. If you're gonna here's the thing: if you're gonna run it, at least put Rachaad White in there because he's more explosive. Do something. That showed me everything we need to know about Byron. So now I can never take sports people serious, like you always say, Slick. When they talk, if they ever say that, I'm gonna go, oh, okay, ESPN, Disney is telling you to say this. So Mickey Mouse got his hand up your ass. I understand. You're saying this to pay bills, because there's no way you can tell me that Brady had a bad game. He sure did. But those play calls, again, if you are a coach, did we see any adjustments, Slick? If you watched the game, did you see any adjustments to help Brady? If you see that he is playing scared, why not help him out?
Do you know what I saw? And this was some a lot of people said I don't know why we continue to run it. I tell you why we continue to run it was because occasionally we got chump yardage. Chump yardage looks pretty, and your eyes are deceived. And this is why you need to go with a mixture of what you're seeing on the field and stats. Your stats will tell you. Oftentimes, when you were hitting the run, you weren't effective, and on occasion, you were knocking it out the park. There was like I wouldn't say home runs, but there were like chump yardage where we got 15, 10,
Yep.
8, that kind of thing, and that I believe blindsided Byron Leftwich into thinking they can run the football because if you just look at those particular plays, the Buccaneers ran the football pretty well, but they didn't.
No, they did not.
They didn't as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And what frustrates me about this, and this could be partly Brady, I don't know. Leonard Fournette is the leader in reception yards, in receiving yards. That I have a problem with that. Why buy a wide receiver if you're going to fucking throw it to you're going to throw it to your running back?
Yeah,
I get the fact that it's a dump off. And that tells me these plays don't get a chance to develop because you go in your dump off straight away because you've got nowhere else to go. So I'm going to go in my dump off. And yes, some of those plays, he ran a really nice one here and there and another good one here and there. But I'm gonna just pop up some stats here. Both Leonard Fournette and Rashad White had a lot of receiving yards.
yeah.
They had good days as running backs, as a 1 and a 2. Chris Godwin had a good chunk of yardage. Everyone else just fucking had nothing.
Yeah.
Starving for the ball. Mike Evans doesn't get used until OT.
Right.
He did get targeted, and we'll talk about those 2 interceptions because I looked at those interceptions. I looked at them with a bit more depth. I don't know if Tom Brady can throw deep anymore. I don't think he can with any accuracy. The accuracy's not there. Both those balls were underthrown. Those interceptions hit the defender in his right here.
Yep.
In this section, you're right. Mike Evans is further back, which means if that would have hit Mike Evans, it probably would have hit him in the dick. This is a guy who's going deep on fade routes. You should never ever hit him like that. And again, Mike Evans having to turn around to try and catch these balls. We got Drew Brees playing for us right now.
Oh, I'm glad. I didn't want to say that, but that you are. It's scary, and
we got 2015 Peyton Manning. We got 2020 Drew Brees playing quarterback.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're right. With that being said, and here's what's worse: we don't even have.
Can I just add before I disappear on this one? Because I know you got something to say. The only difference between the Buccaneers and the Saints, 2020 to do our 2022 and 2, we don't have fucking Sean Payton.
I was gonna say that we don't have Sean Payton to adjust. You have a slow ass guy in Byron. You have a tortoise for Todd Bowles, which I just don't understand because I thought turtles were wise and smart, but we know he's slow.
Sage-like.
Yes, he is slow. We know he's slow, but you are absolutely right. I would not be surprised if this were the case. I'm praying that if this is the case, I'll be mad, but if it does well in the playoffs, I'll forgive him. What if Brady is like trying to save himself? Because
it's a fair assessment, though.
Yeah, I think that's what could be happening.
I'm praying. I'm hoping there's like a fucking half a playbook that's not been used. That they're like, yeah, we got this motherfucker in our back pocket. We just got to scrape into the playoffs, and then we're just gonna unload this shit. Exactly. I'm praying. I don't believe it. I don't believe it's gonna happen, but I'm praying. I'm not a believer.
Yeah, and again, they're still not utilizing Evans to his full potential. Again, he doesn't always have to be a deep threat. You can use some short passes for him. This is a big guy. These corners don't want to have to try to tackle him all fucking day. You know how I know? It's the same thing with Leonard. Do you know why Leonard got that big short pass and he was able to take it down? Hesitation. Exactly. That's a big guy. And they were missing because you already know, you've played the game. You don't, as a corner, if you're smaller, it takes a toll on your body trying to tackle someone who's over 205 pounds. Your body is eventually going to just fall apart or you're going to get bruised. They're not using, there was no excuse that Evans shouldn't have had 170 yards and 2 touchdowns this game. nobody could cover him. And even when they doubled him, he was getting separation. And that's
Mhm.
where Collinsworth and them were pissing me off. The receivers were getting separation. Brady, this is where I put the blame on Brady. You cannot always throw the fucking ball away real quick, because in the first quarter, when he tried to dump it off to Otten, he threw it way over his head. And if Otten catches that, he gets at least 15 yards. The play to Julio, that's a touchdown.
It's all here. Like, I got 4th and 1 call. Why the fuck did we run it so much? Next one was throw to Otten, 3 before the sticks.
Yeah.
He threw it to him while he was blocking in one of them. He was
Yep.
still blocking. He hadn't came off and he was supposed to peel off. Heavy flagged red zone. That was one of the big things. Interception of Mike, underthrown back fade. Then I want to talk a little chat about Tompkins. He had some really poor moments in this game. He also had some bright spots later on in the game. I thought he kind of started to get back into his juice. But
Yes,
at the beginning, he looked really flustered and didn't know what he's doing. Underthrown Mike, back shoulder fade. Again, he cannot throw a he can't throw a shade to save his life right now to Mike. If I'm doing this, I'm going 5 yard in, 5 yard out, 5 yard hitch, something simple. Don't try and reinvent the wheel with it, because it's not going to happen.
it's not. And this is where,
what do we see with a Saints offense back in 2020? Who did they use a lot?
they used the damn running back a lot. Kamara. They used Kamara
Alvin
so
Kamara.
much.
Is Alvin Kamara? Is it a fair assessment to say that Alvin Kamara is a better receiving back than Lenny Fournette?
Absolutely, hands down. And he's not only that, he's much quicker and he's faster. That's what makes him so devastating, because he is very shifty and he has moments when he gets out in that open field, it's hard to tackle him.
Exactly. And this is, if you look at the two offenses, it clicked while I was watching it. Like, they just keep giving him the fucking ball. Why do we have so many wide receivers that we pay so much money to? Why don't you just pay just one guy to keep receiving the ball for us? Because that's just easier, right?
Yes.
No, it doesn't work, because we're not getting them the ball because they can't get it. It's either Chris Godwin on hit or him or White, depending on who's ever the back end.
And sometimes Gage. But you know what this is why I say this is Byron and not Brady. Did you in the fourth quarter in overtime, Brady, when he does that hurry up and no huddle, he reads defenses and he takes what the defense gives. A lot of people don't realize Gage won that overtime game. If you look at it, when the corner was way off, every time, what did Brady do? He went straight to what the defense gave him. Gage, he was by himself. All that cushion coverage, he destroyed it. Basically,
cushion coverage doesn't work, because you are at a standstill. You have given up real estate straight off the bat. If you're at zero, if you're on the line of scrimmage, the LOS, and they're camped out on the 8, you can throw to them, bang on the 5 before they even move. That ball's in their hands, or they're turning into a slant or what have you. You've turned a 5-yard slant or a 3-yard slant into a 5 to 8 yard plus gain, depending on if you can make somebody miss.
Yep.
Cushion coverage only works if they are like 3rd and 15.
Yep.
And I still wouldn't go to 15. I'd be camped out on the 10.
Just in case.
I'd give up 10, maybe 8 to 10 yards, and have my safety sat at 15.
And you have you have to be careful, because there was a play where SMB, Sean Murphy Bunton, gave Hopkins that cushion, and Hopkins still ran right by him because he hit him with an in and out move. And the only reason it wasn't a touchdown was because the quarterback couldn't throw it.
Because you are stationary, you will bite on the first move because you're not in motion. So you see someone giving that little wiggle, like, fuck, he's going in or he's going out. So you start breaking down, you start sprinting towards it. So what do you do? Or you fake, you're going deep, you fucking run it hard, you start before you throttle, the motherfucker's going like shit. This is the problem with this style of coverage. And this is why I don't like it. Your first read is what you're going to hit. And most of the time, you don't want to get, but the key word of DBs is don't get beat deep. We'll take the underneath shit because we can live to fight another day. That's bend but don't break mentality, right? So you're sat there you're in your back pedal. You see this guy streaking. He's hitting it hard as he can. And let's face it, this is a good wide receiver. Shit, you're going to go deep. you're bailing as hard as you can because he's at full speed and you're at 0 speed. So you need to get up to full speed as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is he doesn't go deep. He turns. He puts an angle in it. He turns left, he turns right. Now you got to stab a foot in the ground and come back down to play it. By then, he's caught the ball and he's run it to Sammy sideline.
And you're fucked. And then that's again, people don't realize that's how a lot of injuries happen because as you said, you're instantly trying to turn your body up. And then if they hit you with that quick slant in, now you have to literally switch your body.
What if you slip?
Yep. What if you slip again? And then what if you are going after a big receiver? Like, can you imagine trying to open field tackle the Seahawks receiver? What's his face?
McCaff?
Yeah, McCaff. Again, like you said, that puts you at a disadvantage because that man is coming at you at full steam already. And if you don't take the perfect angle, it's over. Again, that's what Brady was doing in the overtime. He literally was just giving. And then when he found Evans, it was in mid-range routes. It's okay to do that. I think, like you said, I'm hoping and praying that Brady is just saying, hey, guys, I had to save my arm. We had to, because the Bucs, if they can limp into the playoffs, it can be a problem. Now, this is where I do think that good things will happen because I guarantee you the Panthers game, Vita Vea will be back. They're going to play everybody because they know how big this game is going to be. And
you could rest everybody in the next game and still guarantee you've got the same record because it doesn't matter what the Saints do.
Exactly. If the Bucs
we win this game, it doesn't matter how many. If the Saints win this game and next game, they'll be level with us, and they will lose because we've got the
exactly. Game. So if you're the Bucs, handle your business in Carolina. So then you can
have a bye week.
Exactly, and then what we always talked about it. Let's see what Trask can do. I wouldn't start Garrett because we know what he is. Let's see what Trask can do. Let's get these young guys out here. Let's see what they're going to do. Again, you win this game, like you beat the Panthers. Like you said, it's a damn bye week. You can get your starters rest. And more than that, you can get your coaching staff and your players on the same page. Okay, guys, what can we do? Because 9 times out of 10, we're playing Dallas. We've had their number before, but now they're a different team. They're a different animal. The playoffs are different. What can we do? And I do think with the Vita Vea, if the defense is healthy in the playoffs, watch out because they will, they will be a threat. It's just the offense. I'm hoping, like you said, if Brady all of a sudden says, "Man, I could throw this deep ass bomb," I was just saying,
I'm gonna play 3 more games. I'm gonna play 3 more games. That's all I gotta do.
Right, I was just saying. Right? And I see we got Buck Skull in here. Let's bring him in. Let's bring him in.
Gang in the house. How's it doing, brother? How you going?
Good. Okay. Not really.
Why not really, my man? Go ahead. Talk your trash, Bucks.
How's you guys panic meter right now?
How's what?
Panic time.
Panic time. I'm not panicking. I'm more flustered because if you looked at the media today, a lot of people are not giving the Bucs the respect or credit, and they're down.
We shouldn't either.
Yeah, but it's just certain people that get me. Dan Orlowski should never talk about anybody being good. It's like, Dan, you're the guy who stepped out of bounds. We know this. Mm-hmm. I'm not too worried about the Bucs and the Panthers.
If we lose, I thought the coach would have been fired yesterday. If we lost yesterday, Todd Bowles was gone.
I don't think Todd Bowles would have been gone. Byron definitely would have been gone because they would have looked at
the Broncos fired their coach today. The Broncos fired their coach today.
That's the Broncos though. The Broncos were a dumpster fire with the way that it was handled with Russell Wilson because they still have a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's what they did with the offense, but
we'll make a call for Russell Wilson next season.
Hell no, I don't want him. No,
he can run in his mobile.
Okay, let me put my little 2 cents worth here. Russell Wilson just signed a mega-sized contract. We can't afford somebody like that on the roster right now.
Exactly.
But we can push the cans down the road. Push the cans some more.
To be honest, I'm with AJ. If this offense is average, they can beat teams. because this defense is solid enough.
That's why I said we could push the can some more.
You can't do that. You can't eat.
Now, let's go and draft a fucking left tackle.
Exactly.
It's still gonna be Donovan Smith protecting him. No matter how mobile he is, he got sacked a lot when he was in Seattle. He was mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do.
I don't want to see him running around for his life trying to throw a ball.
Yeah. Do you know why Russell was so successful his early years, Bucs Skull Gang, and
because they had their defense,
but they also had a run game. They had Marshawn Lynch back then. So when you have balance, you don't have to worry about that. But the Bucs aren't designed for that, and our line is an issue, like he just said. That's another thing we got to talk about, guys.
Do we call him Sean Payton?
No, he's not coming to Tampa. Get that pipe dream out of your head. He ain't coming, man.
What? Look at this.
She ain't gonna call you.
You know the Broncos coach had a 5-year deal.
Nah,
he got fired 1 year. Fired.
Sean Payton is literally basically that fine girl that you want to go on a date with, and she keeps you around, but she's only for entertainment purposes. She ain't calling you, player. She's not going to call you.
I bet you to keep Brady here, the Bucs will call Sean Payton.
No, they're not. It's not going to happen. First of all, depending on how this season turns out, Brady might not be back.
To keep Sean Payton here, did you hear about Rob Gronkowski? He had a meeting with the Buccaneers.
Yeah, we heard about that. But I'm with Slick on this. If Rob, you got to be in football shape. Now, I'll say this. If Rob were to come back, the first thing he already knows, he would have to be a blocker. Now, he's a hell of a blocker. That could ultimately help the run game.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, he's now they have good chemistry, but you have to be in football shape. If anything, why not stick with what you got? Cade Naughton is not a bad tight end. He is really good.
I know. To help us.
You're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna get the production that you got out of Gronk, because if you look in his first year with the Bucs, it took him a minute to get up to speed. Now, if he came in Thanksgiving, which was initially talked about, they said they called each other and had a chat and what have you, and it just didn't get ironed out. Then yeah, we're probably looking around about like now, maybe next week that he would be into football shape and would be ready to rock and roll. But now with the later he leaves it, or the later it takes for him to come on, the longer it's going to take him to get to football shape, because the season's pretty much done. And yeah, we see him. He looks jacked. He looks great.
That's what they said next year.
Next year, we can't worry about next year, man. We have to worry about now.
I know.
You want to know who I want to come back? If Ryan Jensen comes back and he gets himself together, that would help us.
Are we going to save him for the playoffs and not for the regular season? I think we should give him some reps now.
I know. Hell,
he's not ready though. He's not ready. He's not been taken off IR. He's not practicing. He's not doing anything. So we were told initially that it would be deep into the playoffs that he would come back, if he were to come back.
I heard he can come back week 18 now. I'm hearing week 18.
That's wishful thinking.
We hearing it could be this week for the Panthers game.
Hell no.
Back. We also told he was coming back for the Rams game. So until Jenna Lane and the Bucs beat staff, the Bucs beat crew report it and say this is happening, rather than people on podcasts and what have you. Until we see those words, Ryan Jensen off IR, because until he's off IR, he is still on injured reserve, which means he can't play for this team. Then he's got to get up to speed. That's going to take a minimum a week. Yeah, he probably could play. We've all seen the pictures where he's snapping the ball to Brady, and it gives us hope. And it really does.
I heard it was practicing afterwards. I heard they had a practice, I guess, afterwards.
It's just little things like that. It's nothing big. Again, if Jensen could come back up to speed, then yes. But at this point, that's still wishful thinking. At this moment, we have to work with what we got. And that's why Donovan Smith was heavily missed this game. You see Josh Wells going down. Now I bet you a lot of people are going to appreciate Donovan Smith a hell of a lot
more. Too many penalties, though. He's a penalty guy, man. He's a penalty man.
But hey, did you see how the Bucs? Do you know why they went to the run game? Because first of all, Byron's an idiot. We know that. But if you're Brady and your third string left tackle comes in, how much confidence are you really going to have in him? Now, luckily, this is still a bad team.
He's out. But again, I heard he's out for the year. He's done.
Yeah, he's done. So now we are literally limping with the offensive line. You have to, if you're Brady, how much confidence do you think you would have in a third string left tackle who's
Forcing it now.
the blind side. That's another reason why Brady is throwing the ball away quick, because he's not trying to get destroyed. And it's good and bad.
Come on, my pet. Somebody call him. Let's dial up the phone.
Call who?
Out of my pet, out of retirement. What's
Even
up the phone?
Even if he were, he would have to get up to speed. And have you seen Ali Marpet? He has lost all his football weight.
I know.
He's
like he literally played tight end.
Yeah. So again, it's all about the Bucs. The Bucs have enough talent at the receiving core. The problem is the coaching staff.
Bad coaching.
Straight. The problem is they're not
As you guys were chatting amongst yourselves, I just Googled Ryan Jensen, and I got Tom Brady suggests Ryan Jensen can return if the Buccaneers reach the playoffs. That tells you he's back in the playoffs. That doesn't mean it's a fact. It could be earlier. But the fact of the matter is, he's still on IR. He's not practicing with the team. We have to act as if he's not with the team right this second until we see that he's been activated. As soon as he's activated, then we can start speculating. I'm not going to speculate.
You're right.
I said to people 1,000 times, don't bet on Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham's not going to be ready. And everyone's like, let's go and get Odell Beckham in October. Who signed him? Did anyone sign this guy? This amazing one-hand catching piece of a dream of noodle hair. Screaming from the sky and catching snagging touchdowns like they're no business. Is he signed? No.
People said the Cowboys was the front runner. People said the Cowboys was the front runner.
No, that was all for pony. That was just bullshit. That was just media hype. This is Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones likes attention for his team, good, bad, or whatever. Attention is attention. They were never going to sign him again. Like Slick said, that guy's injury prone. Why do you think?
I heard he came to camp. He came out, worked out for him, and the medical
and the Giants too. I heard he had a meeting with the Giants, the Bills, and the Cowboys.
Yeah, having a meeting.
And any of them has he put ink to paper with anybody yet?
Nope.
There you go. He ain't coming back.
He's not coming back.
I don't want to be mean because I never want to talk shit about anyone's career because he's done way more than I could ever do on a football field. my point being is he's had 2 ACL surgeries. These are major injuries that take a year usually to come back from. He injured his knee in the Super Bowl in February. We're in fucking December, almost January right now.
Yeah.
He should be coming back. But guys, you got to also I know AJ's with
remember
he's living the high life. He's socializing with rappers. He's socializing with movie stars, models.
He's not
chilling on boats. Do you think that guy's really working hard every single step of the way?
No.
He's rubbing shoulders with and rubbing elbows with, going to nice meet and greets and drinking cognac and living the life. that shit will slow you down. It will.
Yeah, basically.
You remember Chris Godwin? He recovered pretty fast. Chris Godwin.
well, Chris Godwin.
This was the thing. Chris Godwin recovered very quickly, but the problem with this was everyone was saying, "Oh, well, we should go and get Odell Beckham." And I'm like, "Well, if you do the math,
a great combo."
At the same time, if you added Chris Godwin's injury on top timeline, his injury timeline, so when he returned, which was the first game of the season technically, that meant that boy Odell Beckham Jr. would have returned end of November.
Yep.
End of November. And people were in October going, we need to sign him. We need to sign him. For what?
For what?
To do what? Hold a fucking cupcake for somebody? Give them water?
Yeah, no. Odell was never the issue. And here's the thing. If you
Tom Brady always wanted to play together with OBJ.
You got to separate media talk from reality.
But he's not able to play.
Yeah,
I can want to sit with a load of strippers. They don't want to sit with me. It's not the same thing. Like, I don't have the bankroll. I don't have the prestige.
Yeah.
They're not going to hang with me. I'd love to sit with Courtney Schiffer and sip some cognac. She ain't going to do it with me because she's like, who you?
Yeah.
You got to pay to play. And
do you think?
What's up?
Here we go, man. If the Bucs lose Sunday, do you think we should fire the coach then? Fired?
I don't think it makes a difference.
It doesn't make a difference.
Brutally honest. Does it make a fucking difference if we fired Byron Leftwich after next week, or do we fire him at the end of the season? It's not like we're going to change anything dramatically in 2 weeks.
Hey guys, we can still get the wild card spot if we do lose this week. We can still get the wild card 17.
Keyword you just said could, and it's not going to be based on Byron Leftwich. It's going to be based on. Do you know what will happen if we lose to Carolina? It will be based on if Carolina wins their game after the fact. It doesn't matter what the Buccaneers do. The Buccaneers could absolutely penetrate, impregnate the Atlanta fucking Faley clowns, and it will not matter.
You see what the Panthers have been averaging, right? The last 5 games. See what they've been averaging, 30+ points a game.
Sure, but my point being is, you can pound the Falcons as much as you want. You can put 50, 100, 150, 1,000 points on it. The problem is you got swept by Carolina, who have the tiebreaker. Your entire season's reliant on Carolina losing them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
I bet you the Bucs feel worried right now. If your Todd Bowles right,
I would be worried because they're still masters of their own destiny at this point in time.
If Todd Bowles and Tom Brady and Byron Leftwich go into the locker room and have their meeting with the players and the team, we win, we're in the playoffs. We lose, we're in trouble.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. This is where I think it'll be different. And I know this. I've said this again. I say it again. Brady and the players are not gonna allow themselves to lose to the fucking Panthers. It's not gonna happen. I'm telling you this
especially at home.
Especially
at home.
Brady is not going to sit here and watch his legacy go to shit because of incompetent coaching. He's not going to let his legacy go to shit because of players messing up. These players want to win. They're not gonna lose to the Panthers. I think that it's just more hype right now. Overall, the Bucs are still a better team than the Panthers. That's why they've been favored. I think 7.5 points.
That's a lot.
We're 7.5 points favored against the.
I know.
Against the Cardinals.
Yeah, I get it, but this is where I think the players are going to. They're going to disregard the coaches. If they sense that the coaches are bullshitting and they're not helping, again, Brady always in these fourth quarters, he's calling the shots.
Yep.
They're not gonna allow this to happen. So
kicker is the MVP. Ryan Skycup is the MVP. If it wasn't for the field goal,
if it was, Suckup is doing his thing, but if it isn't for the defense and Brady, this team would be far off. Let's be real. Brady, if it wasn't for Brady, this team would have lost 3 games. Think of all the fourth quarter comebacks. Arizona, the Saints. Think of those games. Just those 2 games in general, the Bucs are done.
Kicking field goals, you have to win the game too.
They're doing their thing.
You got to get in position to kick them to begin with.
Right, you have to be in a position, and Brady's putting them in the position to win. I'm telling you, this game right here, as Slick said, nothing else matters. Carolina is the biggest game. This is
not playoff game.
Do you guys feel scared? Do you guys feel scared?
No, I'm not scared. I'm not scared.
You can't be scared because if you think scared, you're going to play scared.
Yep.
You got to be looking like, this is our opportunity. This is how we finish. If you've got, oh God, if we lose this game in the back of your mind, we're out of the playoffs and we're going to suck and it's going to be shit. And then we have to rely on them to lose and for us to win. Yeah, it's going to be shit. You already lost the game. You may as well not turn up. You may as well say,
would the Saints beat the Carolina week 18 and the Bucs would beat Atlanta?
No, it doesn't matter. The Bucs are out of their destiny. If they lose against the Panthers, they would have to hope that the Saints beat the Panthers.
That's what I said.
Do you really want to rely on them for all you know? The Saints might tank. And they're rubbing in the Bucs.
Saints don't even have a first round pick to play with. Saints don't even.
It doesn't matter. They would rather go. Hey, the Bucs won't get in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
It's about this.
I'd rather have the Panthers, Paul. I'd rather have Carolina.
Why? They're gonna lose the first round. That's not the Bucs are literally still the best team, regardless of how shitty we have been. Out of the NFC South, the Bucs are still the better team. It's the Bucs cannot. I don't think the Bucs are gonna go in this game scared. If anything, the urgency is gonna be on. I bet you these players are on a high alert of we're not gonna fucking lose this game, and we're definitely not gonna lose it because of the coaches. They're not
hat and a t-shirt game. It's a hat and a t-shirt game.
Panthers been leading the league in interceptions last couple of games, passing yards, running the ball. and their defense and sacks. They've been
Yeah.
dominant all 4 phases.
Yeah, who's their quarterback? Who's now?
Sam Darnold has been playing better than Tom Brady. Go look at the stats. Those stats. Let's go look at the stats.
What kind of stats?
Did you know Sam Darnold haven't thrown an interception yet?
What do you mean? Sam Darnold's not Tom Brady either. Again, you got to understand this. You know what Sam Darnold also has? The defense. You just said it. The defense has been helping. The run game has been helping. What is one thing typically the Bucs have been much better at? Stopping the run.
Yep.
If they stop the run and they let Sam Darnold is not going to torch you especially if and here's another thing. Vita Vea.
Sam Darnold passed in his last game. This is the game they put 30-odd points on. Let me go look.
Yeah, and that wasn't even the quarterback. That was
37-23. How many yards do you think Sam Darnold threw in that magnificent game where they scored that many points? How many yards do you think he got?
About 250.
250, which isn't great for someone who's supposedly run away. You should be hitting 400 if you're scoring that many points.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Again,
right. Let's keep going with this.
That's why I'm looking at the stats sheet. The Red Hot Lions.
Sam Darnold threw for 1 touchdown.
Yep.
See, he ain't exactly a red zone superstar. Oh, he didn't get intercepted. Probably because he only threw the ball 22 times.
Right.
Because they're running attack.
That's the whole
Exactly,
point.
but
That's complimentary football.
bread and butter at stopping the running attack. So if the Buccaneers can stop, make Sam Darnold throw, you may be able to pick him off.
If Vita plays?
Well, here's the thing. Also, before we get to Vita, you do realize Brady is still 3rd in most passing yards in the NFL. So that means he's only behind Mahomes and I think Josh Allen. So it's not like he is completely washed. Again, that is the misperception that they throw out there. It's the gameplay. Now let's get to Vita. If Vita plugs the hole, it's over because we know that that's going to help open up for Hicks. That's going to help open up for Anthony Nelson. I honestly think, like Slick, you're right. When it comes to I think they should put Joe Treinke in mostly on passing downs, and when it comes to run plays, have Anthony Nelson out there or have someone else.
Clear and obvious, yeah. I just want to add something to it. School gang. In this game that we saw, and I don't want to, because we're going off track with the. Would you say Jared Goff is a better quarterback or a worse quarterback than Sam Darnold?
It's a toss-up. What this year? I'm talking about this season. Are we talking about
this season?
The
honest opinion, and you're not wrong in whatever you say.
Maybe Goff is better.
They scored 23 points in that game. He got 350 yards, no interceptions, and 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
That's stud football play.
Yes.
And he still lost the game. Yeah. So it comes down to defense, and it will come down to the Buccaneers being able to shut down that run. If they fumble on the run, it's over.
How many fumbles in that game? Fumbles. Is it about fumbles?
He got 1 fumble.
Yeah, again, it's a defensive game. As Slick just said, if the Bucs shut down the run, do you really think Sam Darnold is going to and here's the thing, if Bowles plays better defense, like if he starts playing more man coverage, do you really think Sam Darnold is shredding defenses? When the last time you ever heard anybody say Sam Darnold is out here shredding defenses?
Let's talk about this rushing attack. Combined, that Chuba Howard and Dante Foreman, I hope I said his name right, over 290 yards.
That's scary.
Oh, yeah. But if you stop it, they have nothing else.
They have nothing else. And again, it's not like Sam Darnold and CJ Moore have this tight chemistry. So this is you want to know what the Panthers game plan is going to be?
Run the ball first?
No, you run the ball first. Short passes. Yeah, they want to. If the Panthers,
because we lost the Panthers the first time because they ran the ball on us.
Well, no, the first time the Bucs were just totally.
They wasn't healthy either. They Panthers wasn't healthy. Now they're healthy.
Well, no, you got to understand. Do you know what quarterback that they played? It was PJ Walker who killed, not Sam Darnold. And the Bucs just dropped the ball because that was that was the offense, not necessarily the defense. The offense came out sputter. Do you remember that game when he threw to Evans and he dropped it? That was the Bucs offense in a nutshell. Nothing but incomplete. So the offense. So this is why the Bucs defense eventually wears down. This is what happens to any defense. When you're out there on the field so long, you get gassed. And that's when mistakes happen, mental, physical errors. So this is how the Panthers, they want to keep the ball on offense as much as possible so their defense can get to Tom Brady. But again, if Bucs get 3 and outs against the Panthers, it's over because Darnold he won't get in a rhythm. Again, they don't have the chemistry where the receivers are going to beat us deep. I'm telling you, the Bucs are literally going to, if Vita Vea comes, it's over.
Hope the Panthers watching the game tape from the Panthers game against the Lions.
Well, not really. The Lions their weakness is the run defense. So they did what they were supposed to do. The Bucs are a better defensive run defense. And let's be real. The second, here's one thing that has actually been less surprising.
2 teams are completely polar opposites to each other. One team can fucking score points left, right, and center. The other team can only stop points.
Yep, exactly. And the Bucs secondary we know is not going to be a problem if Antoine Winfield and Logan and Edwards are back there. Again, they're not going to be throwing deep passes. Their whole thing is the Panthers in their mind. If they want the Bucs to be under 14 points. In their mind is if the Bucs can't get over 14, because the Panthers are not going to be scoring. They just want to keep the
Bucs. Be in the conversation.
Yeah, they just want to keep the Bucs. They want to keep that game close.
They want to keep Tom Brady throw picks and force fumble.
Well, hopefully he doesn't. But also we're getting Donovan Smith most likely will be back, and with Donovan Smith back and Tristan Wirfs healthier, that's going to help the line to be better.
Yeah, man, a lot of criticism from Bucs fans about Donovan Smith. Too many penalties, costing us games.
Okay. I don't think you can put it just on him particularly, but yes, his play has been poor because this is a team game, so I'm never going to just put it on one player. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It's like when people blame referees. Oh, we lost that game because of the referees. Now, I'm gonna put this out there. You can lose a game because of a referee making a bad call at the end of the game that finishes it for you. So you got a pass interference call, or you get such and such call, and it kills the game, your drive, or what have you, right there. Atlanta Falcons can have that. Atlanta Falcons can have that argument. That's you could argue the referee helped in the decision of killing that game. However,
is that why we almost lost yesterday because of the referees?
No.
The holding call. Remember the touchdown we had back to back. First down. The touchdown.
But was it a holding? Was there a hold there? Yes.
No, it wasn't.
There was a hold. That was a hold.
A hold all day. He was pretty much wrestling it.
Yeah, that was a hold. That was a hold. No, the Bucs almost lost yesterday due to an inept offense.
The first down? Yeah.
Just think about it. The Bucs defense only allowed 16 points on the road. For most teams, that's a win. That's you usually win that game.
That's what I mean. If they can just I'm gonna do let's do this again. I keep doing this. We do this every week, brother. We do this every week. Let's do these Buccaneers fucking games up and we'll have a look what the Buccaneers shoulda, coulda, woulda got if they could just score 20 points. Doesn't sound like a lot, does it?
No,
20 points like a lot? No, it really doesn't. So let's go. Buccaneers go in and win, beat the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, they do, because they outscore them. They go up and go against the New Orleans Saints. They outscored them. If they did it to the Green Bay Packers, they'd have an extra win in their back pocket.
Pull up the Panthers?
They will lose against the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a fact.
Yes.
They play against the Atlanta Falcons. They would have still won, even though they scored more points in that game than that. They play against Pittsburgh. They will go to overtime. We know how that would go. Let's be honest. They would probably still lose to the Carolina Panthers by a point.
Can you put up the stats in that game? Can you put up the stat sheet? Can you go to the score?
Which game? Which one?
Which game? Yeah.
The Panthers game. Can you put up the stats? First game, can you put up the stat sheets?
It was 21-3. They lost 21-3.
What I'm saying about the running attack, the rushing attack, and their
We play against the Rams, we beat them. We play against Cleveland, we beat them. We play against New Orleans, There's 3 wins in our back pocket already. This team then doesn't look like a bad football team because we're going, oh, well, they can score 20 they can score 20 all the time. San Francisco, we would lose. Cincinnati, we would have lost, but that was a completely different style.
We should have won that game. Well, let's be real. We should have beat the Bengals.
I'm going by the differential of saying
Bucs goal. He's talking about if the Bucs could just get 20 points, this Bucs team, we wouldn't even have to worry about playing the Panthers because we would already clinched our division.
We've got we'd have 3 more wins. We'd have 3 more wins in our back pocket. So that means what? We're 8-7, right? So we would be
we're 7-8. We would be 10-5 right now. We'd be 10-5, and we would have literally clinched our division because that's how bad this team, this division is. So the thing
what me and AJ have been saying, if the Buccaneers can just score a consistent 20, which isn't even 3 touchdowns, that's 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals.
If the Bucs offense can be average, and here's another thing that I do think that
we have.
Slick, this game, they're gonna if they're gonna try to force Mike Evans to rock. You know why? You know what his receiving stats are right now?
They're close.
917. So
917.
He's gonna get that 1,000 yards because that's the thing. Evans is gonna want to keep that going, and they're gonna try to get him involved. So that's
they're gonna try to get the pass interference.
83 yards.
He needs 83 yards, and he has 2 games to do that. So if you're the Bucs, get him this 1,000 yards this game so you can rest him against the foul.
J.C. Horn gonna be on him probably. J.C. Horn, the best corner, or C.J.
Again, if you really think about it, what corner has realistically shut down Mike Evans this entire season? Like specifically shut him down. Or is it that the Bucs didn't throw to him? Because remember, he doesn't get that many receptions, and then by the time he does, Brady and him are not in sync. That is just coaching and Brady. Again, this game right here, this is the Bucs playoff game. The playoffs is
when I go home, pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much because it's out of your hands then.
Yep, it's out of your hands.
You get in by luck because you're hoping other teams win for you because you can't win.
That's an anxiety.
Well, you have to win your game, and you have to hope someone beats the Carolina. You have to hope the Saints beat the Carolina Panthers, and the Saints might be like, well, let's just keep it close, and it doesn't really fucking matter because
exactly. And you know one thing that I do think that is helping us. I'm glad they didn't flex the game, Slick. You know why?
They're not flexed it. They're definitely not flexing it.
They didn't flex
not yet. They can still change it, right?
No,
not yet.
They're not gonna. You know why? Yeah, I think for whatever reasons, when the
can't wait. Is it too late to change it?
It's not happening.
I don't like the late games.
It's not happening. It's not happening. They're not changing it. They would have been.
I fell asleep in the last one because I've been drinking the fucking day. I don't want to be doing that. I'm dead.
But
it's New Year's Day. I'm going to be dead. My liver's pickled at this point.
This should be a prime time game.
Hell no. I don't want it to be a prime time game because you know why? The Bucs don't play good under the lights big time during the regular season.
Is that why you didn't do it?
I think this 1 o'clock game, because here's the thing. They're going to be – when you have a game at night, that's where the psychological toll sometimes can play tricks on you because now you're thinking about it all day. You're thinking like, oh, shit. Like you said, some players might get that idea, oh, shit, what if we lose this game? What if this happens? Because when you're watching other football teams and they start doing things, oh, what if we fall like this? No, that 1 o'clock game, that means you wake up in the morning. They're going directly to the stadium. You waking up.
You're locked in, baby.
We're going to whoop that ass.
You asked me to pull up the stat sheet for Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Carolina. What did you want to see specifically?
Huh?
Yeah, what was the stats you want to see on the game?
The rushing attack and passing yards.
Okay, so passing yards, PJ Walker got 177, 2 touchdowns, got sacked once. Running the football, Dante Foreman got 118. Chuba Hubbard got 63. So not as good as they did in their last game. They got a touchdown between them. So Buccaneers, the game's gonna be won or lost in the trenches, on the ground.
Now what was Brady in stats?
Brady's stats. Brady got 290, No
And
touchdowns, no interceptions, got sacked once.
Exactly. That's so
You want to
again.
know what the rushing attack was? Because this is pitiful.
Yeah,
24 yards from Rashad White, 19 yards from Leonard Fournette.
exactly. And you know why? They got this game. Don't be surprised. Now, I'm hoping this happens slick in Buckskull. They got to do if they play
Gotta
like
win
they
on the
played
ground.
against the Bengals the first half, the Bucs can legitimately actually blow this team out because, like we said about the Cardinals, this goes with the Panthers. If the Panthers are down 2 possessions, they might call it a day. They might say, fuck it. If the Bucs can get up, let's say 13-0, and it's like 6 minutes in the second half, and the Bucs are still dominating of defense, because let's be real, the Bucs defense is gonna dominate this team, in my opinion. If Vita comes back, with Vita coming back,
hey, yeah,
now
the crowd noise should be a factor too. The crowd noise this weekend should be a factor.
Exactly. There's a lot of factors. Look, the way I look at it with this game is it's going to be one on the ground. Whoever can stop the run,
yep,
force the other team to pass the ball. I prefer our chances passing the ball. It's not going to. I don't think it's going to be a thriller. I don't think it's going to be thrilling because we will clinch the
It'll come
division.
down to the wire. Whoever scores.
I hope it's not down to the wire.
The game winning field goal come towards the end.
Nah, I'm hoping.
I hope not. I hope the Buccaneers make it off, and I hope we win by 10.
They're gonna make this game good because it's NFC South coming down to the game. They're gonna make it look good, and the money line. It's gonna be about Vegas and the money line this week.
It could be.
I don't think that goes down with the players, though. The players will play, and that's the fact that what happens, what shakes out, shakes out. But you got two teams locking horns for a division title. That's what's actually on the table. That's the bread and butter of this. That's the nuts and bolts of this. You got if you're Carolina, you've got everything to play for. If you're Tampa Bay, you've got everything to play for. This will be a good matchup to watch, which is why I'm surprised it's not been flexed, just because of that. But because it's two shitty football teams playing against each other, it's probably
because you got the Ravens and Steelers to move the Ravens and Steelers game to
hell yeah, that's
8:20. You think that would have been a better game? You think that would have been a better game versus the Bucs and Falcons? The 8:20 slot. You think that would have been a better game?
No, like he said, nobody wants to see two shitty teams on prime time again. The Bucs and the
battle for the South.
It doesn't matter. It's
the battle of South. That means something to us, and it means something to Carolina fans. It means nothing to anybody else.
Exactly. The rest of the
We're
world
considered a joke. The NFC South is considered a joke by the rest of the NFL.
Exactly. Nobody's
even Peyton Manning doing his Manning cast going, I've spoken to the commissioner. We're going to make sure that the NFC South teams don't get any more games. We're just going to bypass the NFC South and just put somebody else in that fourth seed. He's making jokes about it. That's how we're perceived. It does.
You know what's gonna be funny if one of the South teams go far in the playoffs and wins?
Of course it'll be funny. Of course it'll be funny. It probably won't happen, but of course it. Who's got more chance of doing it? The Bucs.
That's gonna be funny if he wins the Super Bowl this year.
The Bucs didn't just click it. They've been here before. They have playoff experience. It's not impossible to believe.
I
honestly don't see it happening.
If we look at these other teams in the NFC, we got more playoff experience.
Well, we know that the NFC is not as powerful. This is why when people, that's why
only one team might be.
Yeah, you can't listen.
Cowboys the toughest team right now in the NFC. We look at
Cowboys. San Francisco. They broke our nose.
Yes,
with a nobody.
Cowboys, Eagles, Niners.
Then I go Eagles. I'll go Eagles after that, and then after that, it kind of fizzles out.
The Niners
around about the same, to be honest.
No, we already said Niners is number one. They
broke our nose. Yeah. They broke our spirit.
The Vikings too.
Don't get me wrong.
I'm worried about the Vikings.
I'm not. Kirk Cousins is at the quarterback helm. He's not.
He's one of those guys who can turn up and play the most amazing football, or he turns up and plays the shittest football known to mankind. That's just That's just the way he's labeled. I have nothing against him. Good fancy player. You can get him low down. You can get him low down.
Right. Nobody in the NFC is, and again, it's wide open.
Justin Jefferson. That's all you got to worry about.
Yeah. So San Fran.
Hey guys, do you still feel so bad we could have got Devin Cook and this offense? Just imagine Devin Cook.
Right. You're doing what? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Look, at the end of the day, the Buccaneers took a gamble and they went for a tight end that they thought was going to be the next coming of Gronkowski. He hasn't turned out that way. He's gone on to other teams and still hasn't turned out that way.
How do you feel about Cole Beasley went back to Buffalo Bills?
You're looking at a player after the fact.
Right.
At that point in time, was Dalvin Cook a middle of the first round player? No. At that point in time, he was not. He was a second round player, and the Buccaneers did not have an opportunity to go get him. Yes, they could have drafted him, but you could look at any team and look at their need. All of us could have got Patrick Mahomes at some point. The Buccaneers could have got Patrick Mahomes. He was available.
Not
James Winston went, we're okay.
Not where we was at.
No, he got drafted pretty low from the first round.
Yeah, he wasn't.
We was in the middle of the pack. We was in the late first round. At that time, the Bucs was in the middle of the pack.
Well, again, look at Patrick Mahomes' draft. He wasn't a first five. He wasn't a top 5 first round
Justin
pick.
Fields was there.
I'm not sold on Justin Fields just yet. Again, you have to think of it like this, man. The Bucs. A lot of people still do not want to play the Bucs because of things like, if you watched the game last night, the Cardinals are probably pissed because they're like, damn it, we dropped the ball. You don't want to leave a team like the Bucs around because it's still dangerous, because you still do have Brady at the helm. Brady can flip it just like that. And again, the defense is solid. Even the commentators talk about the Bucs defense. They said the Bucs defense deserved to be in the playoffs, not the offense, though.
Okay.
I heard that.
Well, gang, you are right. We wouldn't have had a chance to get hold of Mahomes. He was gone before we go. We picked OJ Howard in that draft, but we could have got TJ Watt.
Right.
What? Could you imagine that? TJ Watt.
You can go to every draft the Buccaneers have ever had with any, and put yourself as any team and go, right, we have this, we're this team. We could have got that person. We could have got that person. We could have got Tre'Davious White. We could have got Buda Baker in the second round. We could have traded down.
Luke Kuechly was available.
Joe Mixon was available.
But I would have
Juju Smith-Schuster, Deion Dawkins in the third round, Alvin Kamara. How many people whiffed on these players? Cooper Kupp was in the third round.
What, really?
Yes, he was not a superstar coming out. He really wasn't.
Chris Godwin was a fourth round pick.
Yeah.
Yes.
So again, it's
late third.
Late third. I'm sorry. It's just about it's either you strike out, you hit lightning, or you don't. Because, like you said, like Slick said, we can say that now because of what happened.
The body of the work.
Yeah, it wasn't guaranteed. What if Warren Sapp and Brooks were bust? Because remember, they both were picked in the first round.
We traded some of the draft picks to get what?
But here's the thing. There's certain things as hype. There was once upon a time people thought Sammy Watkins was one of the best receivers of that 2014 draft.
I remember that
Sammy Watkins, and another one, Calvin Benjamin. He was hyped, and he sucks. So
hey, do you remember the Bucs almost chose OB? Could you imagine the Bucs would chose OBJ over Mike Evans?
I'm glad we didn't. Mike Evans is much better than OBJ.
I'm glad. How about this? Do you think OBJ would take us to the Super Bowl? Could you imagine when?
OBJ, because we didn't have a team back then. No, I'm glad we have Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a solid guy.
Yeah.
Look at Evans' numbers and look at who he is overall.
Yeah.
OBJ more than likely is not going to go to the Hall of Fame. Mike Evans will. Look at Mike Evans' accolades.
I know.
They're far better. So it's just when you draft, the NFL draft is guessing. You're literally guessing who's going to be good.
The conversation about the Buccaneers not going for Dalvin Cook is the fact that they had the number 19 pick in the draft. They picked OJ Howard, and then in the second round,
did you guys remember?
Can you we're looking at it what it is on paper? He was written down as a second to third round draft pick. That's what was on paper. You don't pick him in the first. Yes, because we're talking about it in hindsight, because we've seen what he's done. In hindsight, when they do these redrafts, he's probably picked in the first round.
Yep.
Because they know the body of work. You don't know what the body of work is going to be. TJ Watt was still in the first round. The Buccaneers could have picked him, and no one would have batted an eyelid.
Do you guys remember? Do you think if the Bucs would have kept that pick over Vita Vea, do you think the Bucs would have?
No, I'm glad you brought that up. That's another good one. People were pissed that we got Vita Vea over Derwin. Hey, who got a ring?
No, Josh Allen too.
Who got a ring? Who got a ring, and who is better at their position right now? I'm glad we got Vita Vea. You just
I'll be honest. I was one of those people who was hoping we'd get Derwin James. I will swallow my medicine, because when you're wrong, you're wrong. right?
Yeah, it's just
He is a better player. I've seen
Over Josh Allen. You think he's better? You think Josh Allen was better than Vita right now?
well, that's different. That's
Josh
totally
Allen. They're two different positions.
Yeah, two different
What I'm
positions.
saying, do you think the Bucs was? Do you think that means we would never have Brady though? If you think we roll the tape, we could
Which
win.
Josh Allen are you talking about?
Yeah, I was about to say, are you talking about the quarterback?
Yeah, it was the
No,
same
well,
draft.
We were
again,
never in conversation to get him. He was too far away.
Over Vita, we had Josh Allen was on
No,
the tape.
Josh Allen was taken by the Buffalo Bills with the
We
7th
traded that
overall
pick.
pick.
See,
We
that was our pick. We traded.
Oh
to
yeah,
get
you're right.
Vita.
No, that's
That
fair
was
point.
our
Fair
pick.
point. Yeah, no, I stand right. You're right. Absolutely. We traded it. We traded down, and we got Vita Vea instead.
Right,
Yeah.
but at that point,
But again, you're doing a what if.
You had Winston back then too, and he wasn't going anywhere. You got to understand it again. You got to go again. This is hindsight. It doesn't. We're saying this now because what if Josh Allen was a bust? You wouldn't say that now. You have to look at it like this. They went by what they thought was necessary. It's a yes or not. Again, I was the one who said I want Vita because I want us to win.
Guys, here's an easier one for it. The Denver Broncos have been quarterback needy since when?
Since Peyton
Manning pretty much last it. That last year was basically like Tom Brady's year now, right now.
Right. That was the 2015 season.
2015. This is the 2018 draft. And do you know what they did? Instead of going for one of these quarterbacks, and Josh Rosen and Josh Allen was on the clock and available at that point in time, they're going to draft the fucking pass rusher. They had Shaq Barrett at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about hindsight. Some people obviously did their homework. Their homework was wrong. They did their homework and went, I don't like the look of Josh Allen, come from Wyoming, not considered a really good quarterback school. So Josh Allen wasn't considered great coming out, and that's the way people picked. They went, no, not feeling it. Some people that were quarterback needy went for it. The Buccaneers had a quarterback, and they were hoping he was going to shape the future. A lot of fans. We can do this with every single. I can guarantee you. You'll pick any draft. Give me a year, pick a draft, and tell me what we should do.
Robert Aguayo, the same draft we dropped for Robert Aguayo.
My point being is, if you do, you can do this with every single draft. You can find a player that we should have went.
Matt Gay looks good for the Rams. The kicker, he looks pretty good. Let me tell you, the boy Matt Gay.
Well, look, I don't do it anymore because you'll drive yourself insane. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. It happens because at the same time,
coulda, woulda, didn't.
Yeah, look at the people that we have brought to this Bucs. We won a Super Bowl. I don't think we're winning a Super Bowl without Mike Evans, without Chris Godwin. We're not winning a Super Bowl without Tristan Wirfs.
Tony Brown. Nobody mentioned about him. Nobody mentioned about Rob Gronkowski.
That's the whole point. It's just it's just that's what.
Remember Scotty Miller? Don't nobody give about Scotty Miller.
Well, that's the whole point. You just got to understand at this point you're guessing, and you just have to be thankful that you have GMs and coaches that know how to pick. Sometimes it pans out, other times it don't. But you can't go by and just because you pick the right person doesn't mean that they fit. Detroit Lions picked Calvin Johnson. He had a Hall of Fame career, but overall, I bet you he wished he would have gone with a team that can get him in the playoffs and get him a Super Bowl. So again, sometimes picking the right person and going to the wrong team will ruin you. Hell, you know what I'm saying?
Remember, we traded Bucs traded a lot Hall of Fame quarterbacks away. We traded Vince Young away.
Yeah, we sure did. We gave away Vince Young. We gave away Doug Williams. Yeah, at that time. Crazy. Now again, everything happens for a reason.
Maybe we could have been Super Bowl champions with his quarterbacks.
Not necessarily.
But we're talking about maybe, and it's kind of pointless because we don't know. We don't know what. It's a different team. One went to San Francisco. One went to Washington. It's a completely different makeup.
And again,
you can't turn around to say you can't just cookie cut somebody, put them in a different team, and it's going to work out. Because like AJ said, you've seen good players go to bad teams. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are actually talented. We might mock how certain quarterbacks play or what have you, like a Baker Mayfield, but he goes to the right place, he might thrive. At the moment, he's thriving at the Rams.
Yeah, Brett Favre
So
went.
what if the Rams just went, fuck it, we'll go and get Baker Mayfield and we'll pay a premium for him.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know, but it doesn't matter because it will never happen. We don't have time machines. It won't happen.
No, and again, good players and good coaches. Do you know who Vince Young sat under? Joe Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who Doug Williams had when he was on his team? You had Art Monk, you had Riggins, they had offenses. What were the Bucs and the executive known for? Defense.
Does this mean Cal Trask is going to be good because he sat under Tom Brady for 3 years?
I don't know. We won't know.
I mean, the disappointing thing for me about him is the fact that he can't win the backup job. That's
exactly
probably the only thing I'm a little bit like, okay, this is not good. I had a little think about this. I said, well, what do I do if I don't want to talk about the future too much because we're still in the present. And I stay in the present.
He was the best quarterback in college. Remember when he got?
Yeah, but that's college. We talking about the pro
quarterback. Cal Trask. Remember all those quarterbacks was drafted in front of him.
Yeah.
First round picks. That makes no sense.
It is what it is. But the way I look at it is, if I'm the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady doesn't return, I'm going to look at a couple of guys and I'm going to give them very, very incentive-laden contract. Get this. Here's my thing. I'm going to go and attract, and you're going to look at me with a weird look now.
Is James one
I'm going after Gardner Minshew, and I'm going to give him a $2 million deal to come to the team to see if he can win the spot. Here's the fun part. Every single quarterback I'm going to sign, because there's another one I'm interested in.
James
Hill? Because his contract's done with Philly. $1 million up front, so guaranteed you've got $1 million. $1 million is your minimum contract, and then you start 10 games, $500,000. For every if you're over 24 touchdowns, $500,000. You make the playoffs, $500,000. For if you're under 14 interceptions, $500,000. All of a sudden, your contract, and they are realistic goals if you want to be a playoff team. Those are the kind of numbers you got to hit to become a playoff quarterback.
Yeah,
it's not impossible. Your contract is quietly big inflated, and that's when you go, okay.
Did we give Jameis another chance? Come back to Tampa? Would he come back to Tampa?
To be honest, I don't see it happening. I wouldn't be against it. Only if they can get him on the cheap, because I want him to compete for a job. I don't want the Buccaneers to throw a load of cash at a player and it doesn't pan out and we're stuck with them for a few years.
Agreed.
I want to bring in a couple of guys that have the opportunity to win the starting job. And I'm going, you win the starting job, $500,000 straight up. That's the goal line. $500,000.
Bring Matt Ryan here? Would Matt Ryan come?
Hell no. Matt Ryan is
no. Matt Ryan's washed. He's washed.
You don't bring him here. I honestly want to see what Kyle Trask has. So this is why.
But you still see that. That's why the contracts are incentive laden. So they'd be like, right, guys, I want to see who's my dog. Who's going to lead my team? You're all going to get a shot. Lead my team.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep. If the Bucs,
that's just my button.
We're going to look up behind door number 2 again. We'll see what's behind door number 2.
See what's behind door number 2. But have you ever looked at Gardner Minshew's stats? They're fucking insanely good. I don't know why anyone's not really giving him a proper shot.
Because they're still holding the Jaguar era over his head. Because he didn't lose that.
Man, I'll tell you what, that guy's stats are fucking for somebody who was drafted so lowly was expected to do absolutely fucking nothing.
I really wanted Baker to come to the Bucs. I really wanted Baker.
I'll throw this out there. You got to remember the Rams have no fucking money. You could bring Baker here. I'm not saying he's the answer. I'm saying he could be part of the equation.
On Madden, he's got 95 throw power.
I don't give a fuck about his Madden rating.
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck about his Madden rating. In Madden, I can run yards with Tom Brady.
Right.
He ain't doing that in no game.
Yeah, that's just fluffy shit. I'm not with that. This is why I really want the Bucs to beat the Panthers, because then you sit your guys down. Again, that's a game where Kyle, if I'm okay, Kyle, this is your shot. It's not fair, but let's see what you can do.
We get
shit, because we know what Gabbard's gonna be. Blaine Gabbard is Blaine Gabbard, but now I want to see, Kyle, what are you gonna do against a starting team? Because the Falcons will have their starters out there most likely. Let's see what you can do. For all we know,
I agree. If you win this game, you can absolutely. I'd say Tom Brady doesn't. I'd probably have Tom Brady to start, and then I'd face him out early because it doesn't matter how this game goes. So you turn around and goes, this is like a preseason game, guys. This is like a warm-up. We're keeping ourselves warm. We're keeping ourselves going. We're going to get ready. We're keep our legs underneath us. We're going to
Right, you're playing the first quarter. The starters first quarter. That's it.
Yes,
and then first quarter, they're done. Then you bring Kyle Trask in and the backups, and then you can see what Trask and Tompkins would do. You just bring out you bring out your second guys so you can get ready. But before I, because we are getting on time, I just want to ask you guys these questions. I just got, what is it on defense that you want to see the Bucs do against the Panthers? Three things. Go. Bucs, go. What's 3 things you want to see the Bucs do on defense?
Stopping this run.
Okay.
Hopefully we get. Remember, if we can go blitz, how we play like Todd Bowles. I like the blitz packages he was doing. How he stopped this quarterback.
Okay. One more thing.
And stop with the stupid penalties.
Okay. What about you, Slick?
Win third down. Win third down, no matter what they're doing. Takeaways. Make sure you get them. Force him to throw because he ain't got it. Force him to throw. Kill that run. You're gonna make him throw. When he starts throwing, now you can take advantage, and we're gonna six it. That's what we need. We need to give them the knockout punch. We want to knock their teeth out and go, "Thank you for coming. This is Tampa. Get the fuck out of. Get the fuck off our front yard. Get the fuck off the backyard, and you know where the exit is. Get out."
Right. Get off the shit. Walk the plank.
The Bucs are gonna party. I bet you the Bucs gonna have a party after the game.
Well, look, for my 3 things, it's gonna be move around Devin White, draw confusion. That's
I've always loved that idea, to be honest.
Move it around.
I don't know why we don't do it. I think our inside.
I don't know why we can put him at the defensive end like how they do Michael Parsons do.
That's the point. That's my point. I want to use him like the Cowboys use
like the edge guy.
Yes. And now the second thing is load that box to stop the run. And then third, you already know, man, jam the fuck out of them. Again, I want to see Darnold. If I want to make Darnold throw
cover 2 man, baby. Cover 2 man.
Exactly. Now, let me ask you this. Now, let's wrap this up. Offensively, what do you want to see? 2 things on offense. 2 things. Go, Bucs. What do you want to see on offense? 2 things.
Mike Evans.
Okay.
Maybe we can run the ball better.
Okay. How about you, Slick?
Turn the fuck up.
Turn the
fuck up, because we ain't seen it. Show everyone what offensive Buccaneer football is all about. That's what all I want to see is the Buccaneers have dominance. I loved what I saw in Cincinnati in that first half. Recapture that, bottle it up, take it in, make it last 4 quarters. Because if you do that, you can probably put 30 plus points on this team. Do it.
I agree.
Let me rephrase it as a nicer one. This is one for Tom, because Tom likes this phrase. He's been around this phrase a lot. Do your fucking job.
That's
or
right.
let's fucking go.
That's right.
Do your fucking job.
I hear you. I need, my thing is play action.
Yes, sir.
Play action, please.
Hey guys, I'm surprised it was a run in the first play of the game. I was surprised it wasn't.
They still
get those teams run the ball.
Yeah, but the thing is with that, even when they do the play action, they do the most predictable shit. So play action, and then
our play action doesn't even look like a fake.
Exactly.
It looks like Tom Brady kind of just whizzes past them and holding the ball out, and nobody even pretends to wrap their arms around it.
Special teams finally do better. The special team unit, please, Lord, please, Lord, we want in the fumbles in the special team unit, Lord.
Well,
not running it from the 10-yard line.
Well, my last thing is creativity. If they get creative, this is the game where you throw caution to the wind and you let it all out. So
they just too. We're going for it. We're going to do some fake punts and go for it.
No, not fake punts. No, I'm talking about.
Don't do anything exotic. You just got to
do something creative.
Hard nose.
Yep.
Just be well, I think what he said by be creative in your blocking schemes for your run. Be creative with your motion. Try and create those matchups nightmares. Like open underneath crossing route. Get a sprint out package going where you've got everybody floating one way. So all your reads are in kind of one vicinity. So the quarterback's not doing this. He's just looking in this. His cone of vision's just looking at 3 different guys.
You think we're going to see some trick plays?
No, not trick
No,
plays.
in my opinion, you only use trick plays if you've got a team that's reeling and they're a little bit taken back, and you've full control of the momentum, or you are desperate.
Hopefully, hopefully, I'm gonna say Tom Brady catch this time.
No, please,
No.
I don't want to ever see that guy line up as the wide receiver.
They're
Again.
never
It
gonna
looked
do
like a
that again.
fucking donkey running.
Yeah, they're not going to do that again. Besides, you don't want him to get blasted. But no, they get creative again. What I mean by creative, undercurrent route. So from here on out, Brady should always his second he should have this kind of option. His second option should always be someone under the under crossing route where he has his safe blanket. Okay, if no one else is open deep, I got my guy with the shallow crossing route. I can just dump it off.
Or can we play no huddle the whole game? He's better playing.
No, you can't do that. You will drain your offense. But no, I'll say this.
Playing better though. No huddle.
Here's the thing. When you got to understand, no one's getting any rest in between snaps. So usually everyone huddles up. They get the call in. You also can't sub because you won't have chance to. They can't sub, and that's the bonus in it. That's the thing. I'd say when you use this hurry up package or no huddle offense, you use it when you found the mismatch. So for example, you hit big on a play, so you get a big run, right? Which means they got, let's say for the sake of argument, they went big, they went heavy, they load the fucking box. They got 8 men in the box. Yeah, they have sold out for the run. Now you can go to you can go full speed and go to your passing offense because they don't have the right personnel out. Then I would hit it because you need to know when to stop it, because if it's not working, you got to draw back out of it. Similarly, if you hit big on a play, when they're all of a sudden, it's all about mental errors.
Yes.
When a team coughs up yardage, the defense is thinking shit, and it takes a calm mind to get everyone back together. That's what the defense huddle. I can guarantee you, when we have a big time, Levante David brings everyone in, the guys, calm down, let's get this right. We're set. They ain't scored shit yet. We stop it now. What happens is that doesn't exist because you don't give them a chance to do that. So they're like, no, quick, everyone get in place. Boom, they go next play. That's when you use it. You can't use it all game because you will be fucked.
Yeah, the Panthers defense is like the Cardinals defense because they got J.J. Watt, Brandon Burns is just like a J.J. Watt type of defense.
I'll give J.J. Watt his due. He played really well. His run defense was super, super solid. Yeah. Big respect for him. I've always liked his game. He's got that worker man's attitude about him.
He's even getting Player of the Year, I think. MVP of the year.
No. TJ, his brother TJ, or him.
Him. He got hit.
Oh no, he hasn't had.
He was talking about that last night. I heard.
No,
nothing.
TJ Watt.
That's a sympathy fucking trophy.
Yeah, no, JJ Watt ain't been the same for years. No. He didn't have
He's still good and serviceable, but he ain't worth his contract right now.
Right, he's serviceable. Keyword. He's a serviceable player. No, he's literally on a team off of by name now. His name carries a lot. No. Defensive player of the year might go to either Michael Parsons or someone of that nature.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. Would you give defensive player of the year to a guy who's got 7 sacks at defensive end?
Who is that?
That's
JJ Watt.
Oh no,
exactly.
He's not going. It could be someone like Myles Garrett. It could be someone else. I just don't.
Michael Parsons probably.
Yeah.
Michael Parsons, yeah.
It might be
It ain't gonna be JJ. No, JJ is done. Them defensive of the year them plays are way behind him now. He's
Nick Bosa could get it. Matthew Judon could get it.
I think Bosa might get it because Bosa has been balling. But again, guys, with that being said, because it's getting late, I'm gonna let y'all go. But again, everybody else out there,
4 a.m. over here, so I'm gonna get some.
I got you.
AJ turn up at YouTube, Flex _Luthor 813 at Instagram, Twitter, @Turner_24. But again, Slick and Buck Skull thing. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys. We'll be back later on this week so we can have the Panthers Bucs preview. We talked about it a lot, but we can always talk about it more. But
we hear their thoughts. We should get we should find a Panthers fan we can hear their thoughts.
No, I'm good. I don't want to talk to them. They don't mean shit to me. To this, if anything, I don't want to speak to them at all. We can talk during the off season. So,
Call me later.
exactly. I'll holler at
That's
you.
what
I'll see you later on this week.
Yeah, man. We'll talk soon. We'll talk soon. Much
Take care of
appreciated.
yourself. All right. Peace.
Peace, man. Hey, guys. That's the
Bye.
end of the show. Oh,
Bye.
Skull Gang. Tell us where we can catch you.
Yeah, Bucks still getting in the house on YouTube. Eric Hardnett on my Twitter and Facebook too, and Instagram too. The same thing.
Awesome, brother. Thank you for coming on. It's always a pleasure to have you. We'll see you soon. Hopefully, we'll do some pre-game stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll get you involved, some post-game stuff, and of course, there's always the aftermath. So, brother, have a good one. Enjoy your festivities.
You too.
See you, brother.
Bye.
All right, guys, that's the end of the aftermath, the show where we get a little bit more nitty-gritty and people get some shit off their chest. We are done here at Bucs Report. I'm Steve Slick Pro, but that was AJ Turnup. You can catch him on his stuff. He's already promoted himself. His stuff's good. It's ranty, but it's damn good. Guys, we got one more game. Playoffs start now. It's win. It's win. It's win. And let's throw those fucking kittens in the river, yeah? Because those bitches don't swim. Guys, as always, it's always a pleasure, never a chore. Look after yourselves. Have a good New Year, and I hope you had a great Christmas, because I know I did. Because I couldn't get through that game. I fell asleep. So that tells you everything, doesn't it? My day started at 6 a.m. My day pretty much ended at 5 a.m. the following day. So I was absolutely crunched. Much obliged, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you all soon. I do not know if I will be running my show because it is kind of should be able to run my shit. So hopefully I'll see you then, and we will get going across the booking pond, pre-game shows, post-game shows, etc., 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 and we will boss it. Bucks on me, Bucks on free. 1, 2, 3, go Bucks!